Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of an F1 2021 game experiment. Yes, the first one on F1 2021. Today we're going to be seeing what happens if the My Team car was powered by V10. So without a doubt, let's swap out the V6 that you're currently hearing and switch to a V10. What a sound, what an engine. Bring back V10s, make what the next generation of F1 cars need to sound more like this, really. We try and make it our environmental and then and sound like this, then we'd be killing two birds with one stone. But anyway, well, as you can see, as was it last year's game, the V10 is slower than the V6 powered. I don't know quite understand why. I think it's to do with the acceleration and the gearing, because ideally it should have more top end speed than the V6, but again, this is something that I've tried and failed to improve on F1 2020 in another game experiment. So I think at some point, once My Team is up and rolling, I will give this another go, possibly in the back of the Ferrari, because considering the fact this is the engine from the 2004 Ferrari. Seems that one thing I will say though is there's less slip in the tyres. So I haven't tried this, but if you were to, let's say, go to Monaco, I would reckon that you would be able to do a faster lap potentially. I don't know, the deficit would definitely be closer, but 20.9 was the fastest lap I did, which is actually 0.2 slower, even though comparing Monza to Monza from last year's video, we're actually 0.4 of a lap slower. So faster, excuse me, on F1 2021, but yeah, we're 0.2 slower with the V10. So again, that's probably something to do with the new handling model, as well with the V10. With the V10, or probably there's an engine or something with the engine is affecting the handling, potentially with the lightness or heaviness of the engine. But anyway, enough about that. We're going to move into a race. We're going to see how we can do. We've qualified last. So last time we were in the midfield on F1 2020 and we managed to get up into P4. So we'll see what we can do from last place on the grid. 5 red lights, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Better start than our standing teammate Granuzzo in the We Want Classic Cars back team, as we're going to dart down the inside of about 6 or 7 cars there, move up into temporarily P15, but then we get squeezed out by the Alfa Romeos on exit, and we have to slide back down to P17. And now of course we're seeing, oh my goodness grief, they're moving ahead. I think ERS may have broken as well, so they're going to go and go 3 wide with Russell and Schumacher. We're going to try and take the middle line, thread it through. Oh, there's yellow flags, so surely something's happened here. We can't really go 3 wide into that corner. It was Russell just tagged him, really. Tried to leave as much space for both of them, but Russell is round, and well, that's his race over. But as we're coming up to the Alfa Romeos, they've been fighting each other, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, pretty hard, going side by side through some of the corners. But you can see there, they're just waltzing away as soon as they settle down. So there's again, rich mix is another thing that's disappeared, and also the ERS worked on last year's game. So there's some stuff we need to go back. I need to go back to the drawing board and have a look and see why this is happening as well. Maybe we'll see it with the second game experiment and the 500 subscriber special coming next week. We'll also be using this V10 engine will appear there, so we'll see if we get the same results, same issues or not. But Sainz, of course, he's got DRS and he's just going to fly by as well. So, and out of excuse me, Ascari. Yes, Schumacher just decides to breeze past in his bit of cardboard. So Schumacher's back, and we're down to P19 now. So yes, this is even though we were only 2/10 slower on our time trial run, it's just there's a big contrast between this year's game and last year's game. Latifi now goes past. We're down to P20. Zoa's fallen asleep at the back, and then Russell has also fallen asleep. As we've got DRS off Latifi, and we'll see if we can catch him in the straight line. We are catching him. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the aero and the my team car potentially. I don't know. I don't know. This needs to be looked at. I definitely need to take a longer look. But Latifi comes straight past Backers, of course, on the second DRS zone, and my instability through Ascari on this year's game is just means that we've lost out that position as well. But we're gonna actually overcut one lap, so on our 25% race we're going to come out behind Ricardo, but we're going to try and dive down the outside just to be a nuisance and give us something to do. So we're going to round the outside, and I think Ricardo is round. So on board Ricardo in his dreadful sounding V6 Mercedes powered McLaren, and he tries to go at the inside. Yeah, close the door on him, and a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too harshly maybe there, but that corner is terrible on a pad. So yes, as the safety car came out for Ricardo's little spin, so even though that was nothing in, Jeff tried to sabotage our race. We were not having absolutely none of it and just coming at lap 9. We don't really care about Zoe's fallen asleep anyway. So it's only just deserved that he will be at the back of the rear. Latifi though is still going to be ahead of us, so we've only gained on Ricardo, who lost out because of his spin. But under the safety car then it's Bottas that leads ahead of Perez, I think that is, and then there's a McLaren and Norris. So again, I find that Grand Prix mode is a little bit more realistic than career mode. The Mercedes advantage isn't there. So on the restart then Ricardo goes past, but then we dive it down to about, again, 5-6 cars. We try and get Mazitwat out of the corner. We're not allowing that twat to get past, but he forces his way through. And now we're going to go side by side with Giovinazzi. I think we've banged tyres, and I think he's lost a little bit of his front wing actually. I'm going to block the outside, try and move with the Haas in front, but he's just too quick in a straight line even with his bit of cardboard. Ricardo now goes through and moves up into P17, so we're down to P18. And again, it's a stark contrast because last year we were able to fight for the positions, but again, might be Rich Mix that he's called, because of course I was in Rich Mix for quite a long time. ERS as well seems to be stuck on 95%. I've been in overtake the entire race and it's not gone down, so that's another thing to ponder as well. On as we've made contacts with Russell. A little bit iffy there. We're trying to defend the position, trying to over the Williams, and Latifi's going to move ahead of Russell. We're going to try and keep P18. I know it's quite a big loss compared to the P4 we managed on last year's game, but we're going to try and keep it there. We're going to try and do a Verstappen weave like he did at Silverstone. And Latifi's, I'm pretty sure we didn't make contact with Latifi there. As we watch Latifi, no, he's just lost it. And I think Russell and Zhou have crashed into the back of Latifi as well. So those three are all out. Giovinazzi will be the only man we actually beat on track then. So all in all, a disappointing day out for the V10 engine. Lots of work to do to see if we can improve this engine. It's not the end of the road for the V10, but it's definitely back down to earth after what happened on F1 2020 getting that P4 position as well. So yes, but anyway, if you have enjoyed this F1 game experiment, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 2021 gaming experiments as and when they come out. And next week will be the 500 subscribers special, which will feature the V8 versus V10 versus V12, and I'll put a V6 in the back Marcus car as well. And I've got something special lined up for the Haas because they're a little bit too fast on F1 2021. So we'll give them performance of real life. But until the next video, then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.